Hi everybody, it's your girl Sarah again. Welcome to another video about bariatric sports nutrition. I am here in lovely Fort Greene Park, doing a little warm-up before I go to the gym because that's how I got to do it. I had extra time, and it's important to make good use of your extra time. Of course, rest and recovery is important. But that's only important when you need it. And I don't need it right now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic. And I'm ready to burn off some energy. Because sometimes it be like that. But I thought I would make this video a little bit of what I eat in a day without the visuals and all the pictures of food, because you know what the food looks like and I'm just talking to you, and I don't have to be in my messy kitchen showing you that shit because I'm out here in the park and it's nice and I like to walk and talk. So that's what we're gonna do. It's been a pretty typical day for me post bariatric surgery, nutrition wise. This morning I ate 2 slices of turkey bacon and 1 4-inch diameter protein pancake. I use Pamela's gluten-free flour, and Quest makes a protein powder that's like kind of for baking, and it works pretty well in baked goods and pancakes and stuff like that. And it has 23 grams of protein per scoop. So I would buy that if I were you. Head over to Amazon, look for that. It's a pretty good thing if you want to add protein to things that normally would contain flour or something like that. So that totals probably about 200 calories, the pancake and the 2 slices of turkey bacon. I don't use syrup with sugar in it. I either use something artificial, which is not amazing, but it doesn't have calories like that, and I'm not trying to eat that much sugar. I almost always put protein powder in my coffee, like I've said before. And at first I was very against that idea because it seemed ridiculous to me for a variety of reasons. I usually never finish my coffee. So if I'm not going to finish my coffee, I'm wasting my protein powder, which is expensive, and I'm not going to actually get the protein that I'm supposed to be getting in that way because I'm not drinking it. And it sounded like it would be kind of yucky. But people in the bariatric community, including my surgeon in this instance, recommended mixing protein powder into your coffee. And I decided when I thought now is the time, I really need more protein with all this stuff that I'm doing all the time, that I'm going to try putting protein powder in my coffee. And you know what? I enjoy it a lot. But I'm not a coffee purist like some people like to drink black coffee, and they would never drink flavored coffee, and they don't like sugar in their coffee. So maybe that's not for you, but I find it actually enjoyable to drink, and it's something that I will do every day and get that protein in, the extra 30 to 40 grams. And I'll put anything in it, honestly. If I'm going to be doing that, you can put collagen peptides, which are supposed to be beneficial for you, and it's a good way to get some building blocks if you're not getting adequate nutrition from eating because you have a restriction in your stomach. I don't consume mammal products like that, bovine, collagen, beef and pork, all that stuff. So I use marine collagen, which comes from fish, and sometimes that stuff do be tasting like fish. And it's okay though, because I have a sensitive palate and I could pick it out. But if you mix it with coffee and chocolate from the protein powder or whatever it is, it's not really discernible. But if that worries you, you know, you got to do you. So that probably equals about 175 calories after I put the 2 scoops of protein and a little bit of half and half in my coffee. So together, I don't count that exactly as breakfast because I don't drink that like the whole thing while I'm eating breakfast. I drink that throughout the morning, but for argument's sake, we'll call it breakfast. So the what I ate and drank together comes to like 375 calories. And for lunch, if you can call it lunch, I had half a banana and a string cheese. That comes to under 150 calories. It's not a lot at all, but that's what I felt like doing at the moment, and that's often what my lunch will look like because lunch is the most difficult meal for me. I'm usually busy. I'm usually not necessarily that hungry from breakfast. I like to work out in the evenings, and so I'm not like refueling from a workout, nor am I ready to prepare for a workout by lunchtime. So it really doesn't have anything to do with my training schedule. I don't have to pay the most attention to it. It's a couple grams of protein, and I probably could have done a little bit better there with some slices of turkey breast, but we'll add that to the total. That comes to 500. Listen, I'm not here to do math. But that comes to 525 calories, I think. Now I'm walking around in the park, and on my way here, I drank a 140 calorie protein shake, 26 grams of protein, only 1 gram of sugar. That is something that I would like to discuss, actually. There are so many options for protein supplements, protein shakes, protein powders out there. And none of them are that suitable, I don't think, for bariatric athletes or for what I'm personally trying to do. This might be a personal preference, but if it applies to me, it can apply to other people, right? I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy walking around in circles, but I'm just enjoying the park. So this is what I mean. The types of protein supplement that are recommended to us as bariatric patients. Sometimes I want to say bariatric survivor, but it's not really that dramatic. But sometimes it does feel that dramatic because you have to eat to survive, and when you can hardly eat, it does sometimes feel dramatic. But the kinds of protein that we are recommended are the kinds that have no carbs or very, very few carbohydrates, maybe 1 or 2 grams of fat, 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates. Fine, that sounds great. Normally, it is great. I do think it's great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all, because inherently there isn't. It's good. You're getting the protein, and that's what you're there for, right? However, if you are a person who is being very active, participating in sports, working out, doing all that kind of stuff, and you are having an extreme restriction because of a bariatric surgery, where are you getting the extra carbs and stuff that you might need? And maybe you don't need it, but maybe you do. So my struggle has been, if you're looking for protein powders that have some of that stuff, usually it's a lot of that stuff. Like it goes from 1 or 2 grams of sugar to maybe 30 grams of carbohydrates. And that's for definitely non-bariatric athletes, right? For people who are not obese or overweight. They might require that kind of supplementation in carbohydrates. Me personally, and now this is a big if because my anatomy is different, my stomach is small, I can't just eat or do what I want. But if I was going to consume carbohydrates like that, I wouldn't choose to do it in the form of a protein shake. I would want to eat food. Not that I necessarily can, but, we don't live in a perfect world. So my issue here is that I don't find products that are somewhere in the middle. Somewhere that if I wanted to replenish my glycogen stores, if I felt a little bit depleted after a workout or before a workout, if I wanted to fuel up a little bit and I was going to go the route of drinking a protein shake, I would probably want about 10 or 12 grams of carbohydrate, sugar. It doesn't exactly matter where it's from, not really more than that, and then less than that, I don't know. The normal ones that I've been drinking, they have, like I said, only about 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates. And that's not going to be a thing that's going to replace any glycogen or help you to fuel a workout. Now, it matters how long you intend to work out. This is an actual fact that you can find on the internet. It doesn't necessarily apply to bariatric athletes, right? Because nobody cares. And there's supposedly an actual formula about how much you need to replenish depending on how many minutes after an hour you're working out, which is highly specific and way too highly specific to apply to individuals, right? So being that bariatric surgery is a relatively new thing to be common, we've been doing them widely for maybe about 20 years. And, the truth is that so many different entities make money off of obesity and people being overweight that it's very difficult to discern what is genuine and helpful advice rather than some sort of money-making scheme. So, what's my point here? My point is that there has to be a lot of trial and error being a bariatric athlete. And it doesn't seem necessarily fair or fun or even necessarily safe, but you can do it, and it's something that I'm in the process of doing right now. And it might seem like this video is not that helpful because I'm telling you that you have to figure it out for yourself. But ultimately, no matter who you are and what kind of athlete or what kind of person you are, there is no one size fits all answer to nutrition, right? And that's why most people who need the help will go and see a nutritionist privately, or that's probably a good answer for them. However, backtracking a little bit here because I realize I'm rambling, but I'll need you to follow me because there's some good information in this rant. I did see a nutritionist for a brief period of time when I weighed about 230 pounds, and I was in my early 20s, and I was relatively active. Not like I am now, not doing a comprehensive workout program, but I was working out a couple days a week and living a relatively active lifestyle. And that nutritionist definitely put me on a starvation diet. And I didn't like it then. And I was unhappy, and the lady argued with me about it. And looking at it 10 years later, I hate it even more. Me having only 20% of my original stomach, I still don't like that diet and don't think it would be appropriate for me at, 185 pounds. I think that it's irresponsible to suggest that somebody eat as little as they can to get perhaps quick results. And that's what everybody wants, right? But like, instant gratification is not the thing, and that's not how it works. And everybody wants it to work like that, and so do I. But it doesn't. So no amount of wanting that is going to make it the best way to go. So to give you an example, this is what the everyday meal plan was like from this particular nutritionist. She told me to eat 1 slice of diet whole wheat bread, that's 40 calories. 1 egg, that's 70 calories. And 2 egg whites. We'll say those are 30 calories each. So what does that come to? About 200 calories for breakfast. And then I was to eat a piece of fruit as a snack, but not a banana. God forbid it be a banana, because bananas have more sugar. All those tropical fruits, you gotta watch out for those. They have too much sugar. Can't eat them, right? So a piece of fruit like an apple or an orange as a snack. That's another maybe 100 calories. So we're talking 300 calories. Then for lunch and dinner, she wanted me to eat 3 to 4 ounces of lean protein and as many plain non-starchy vegetables as I wanted. Obviously that can vary a lot, because how many non-starchy vegetables do I want? An entire microwave bag. Usually those things are about 30 calories a serving, and they contain 4 servings in a bag or something like that. I don't know. You could say that it'll come to around 150 calories if you ate the entire bag, plus the 3 or 4 ounces of lean protein also comes out to about 100 calories. So you're getting maybe 250 calories if you're following the advice and not putting butter and oil on stuff. And you're doing that twice a day. So far we have 800 calories. And then she said I could have another piece of fruit as a snack, but not after dinner. That would be before dinner. No food after dinner. I'm done eating by 7 p.m. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed, of course. And guess what? That sucked. That's a grand total of about 900 calories if you eat everything, right? Not sustainable, not good for anybody. And we're keeping in mind that the lowest people recommend for even really small people to be eating is 1,200 calories. Of course, everybody's body is different. But if you're an active and overweight individual, 900 calories a day is not what you're going to be doing to lose weight in a long-term situation here. And I told the woman that, this is a starvation diet, and according to modern science, supposedly anything under 1,200 calories for an adult human is a starvation diet. And she argued with me, and I only saw her a couple of times, and I didn't carry on with her. And of course, I lost like 5 pounds in the first week. How could I not, really? And right now, that's around the amount of calories that I eat in a day, somewhere around 800 to 1,000 calories. If I could sneak in a little more, I probably do. I only have 20% of my stomach, though. That's the point of getting bariatric surgery. I'm working out a lot. Sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 hours a day. And, 5 days a week on average or more. And I still weigh upwards of 180 pounds. So what does that mean? Honestly, I don't know what it means. You guys have to find the sweet spot, and that's the gap right now. There isn't even a place where I can go that I found, according to all my research. And I do, by the way, I'm a social scientist, and I have a degree that is very ensconced in research. I have published research papers, so it's not like I don't know how to do extensive research. So I've done it, and there's just nothing that, like I said, everybody's different, so nobody can give you specific advice, not knowing you. But the only and the most specific thing that I can possibly get when doing research on the internet is bariatric athletes need more protein and more carbohydrates and more water. It seems pretty intuitive to me. Now, speaking of intuition, intuitive eating for one's body is probably a colossal challenge for somebody that has been obese their entire life. Intuitive eating is a way of eating that just kind of means give your body what you think it needs. Listen to how your body feels, listen to your cravings, and try to really think in terms of macronutrients, what your body wants when you're craving a chalupa from Taco Bell, right? And maybe we don't eat a chalupa from Taco Bell because that's not nutritionally sound, but maybe we're thinking, okay, I'll make myself a taco with lots of chicken in it and some vegetables, and it'll have good nutrition and it'll fuel my body. Probably, if you've been significantly overweight for your entire life, like me, that's not how you've been living. Probably it's been very difficult for you to follow your hunger cues. Something as simple as that. I have almost never in my life eaten when I am hungry. Why is that? I just don't know. Some of that has to do with how you were raised. But when you're an adult, you can't go around pointing fingers at people, and you have to create your new habits. Are you hungry since you have had bariatric surgery? That's a question I get a lot. Yes and no. My blood sugar is a lot more even than it used to be. Getting gastric sleeve surgery takes away part of your stomach that makes certain hormones that cause you to be hungry and that may affect your blood sugar as well. I was fine in terms of that before, but I would get hangry all the time. I would just neglect to eat until my blood sugar was really, really low. And then your body has an insulin response, right? And it wants to store all that, whatever you ate. And if you're going to binge, if you're prone to that, you probably will at that point. So, you have to try out what works for you. I will let you know what I am going to eat for the rest of the day, and it helps to plan. I'm going to have another exactly the same protein drink, another 26 grams of protein, And then I'm going to eat about 6 ounces of chicken breast when I go home. But what am I going to do today? How am I going to move my body? And how does my nutrition apply to how I'm going to move my body? Well, I've been walking around during this entire video, and I've been walking around for about an hour total. So that's moving my body. I'm probably going to do it for another half hour. Then I'm going to the gym, and I am going to take 2 strength-based, resistance-based classes, right? That's going to be another hour and 45 minutes of movement, and we're hoping to build muscle from that. Nothing too heavy. These are lighter weight stuff that I do. I don't lift heavy personally at the moment. It's something I'm working up to. In all the research that I have done, they do not recommend that you follow any sort of extensive training program until about a year after you've gotten bariatric surgery. Yet you have people talking at you saying you got to move, you got to move, you got to move, you got to break a sweat 3 times a week. Well, there's lots of obese people that break a sweat from walking around the block. So I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, I've been there. It depends what the weather is like, right? But this is a matter of not what you should do, right? This is a matter of if you want to. Do you want to be athletic? Do you want to be healthy in that way? Do you want to build muscle? Do you want to call yourself an athlete? Do you want to work out? Do you want to pursue fitness goals? I've always been that person. I have always been athletic as an obese person. And of course, the challenges of being an athlete are absorbent when you are 250 pounds plus as a 5'2" woman. Certain movements, it's just like not happening for me. And still now, you know, I am much stronger and much leaner than I've been probably ever, basically ever as an adult. And I still can't do stuff like a pull-up. And I can't do a good push-up yet. And I have been practicing, and I've been doing them all the time, almost every day. And can I do an all the way up, all the way down push-up with perfect form, even one? No, I cannot. I don't have great upper body strength. But is that something you want for yourself? That's the question, right? And I'm not here to tell anybody to do or do not do anything. I'm here to tell people who have already made the decision that they want to be an athlete, that they want to do something different with their lives after a lifetime of obesity and perhaps bariatric surgery, that they can do it and that there are ways. And the way forward may not be that clear. Lots of trial and error. I like Greek yogurt. It has a lot of protein. Get the kind with less sugar unless you think you really need the sugar. Don't be afraid of the process. I see that it's scary, but behaving out of fear is not going to get you anywhere. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway, like the famous book. And just meet the challenges as they arise. You have to be mindful of your body, which a lot of athletes are extremely aware of what is going on with their body. They're extremely tuned in. You're probably not used to that. And it's okay, because it's a skill you can learn. It's not just something that's natural. Of course, it comes more naturally to other people, to some people, more than others. But I will say that I have an advantage there because I am a very sensitive person. I'm very sensitive to my body and everything. And it's easy for me to kind of dial in to what my needs might be. Oh, do I feel like I need sugar? Do I feel like I need carbohydrates? Do I feel like I need protein? Do I feel like I need rest? These are all questions that you have to ask yourself. And it's okay if you don't know the answer. But eventually you'll get used to the feelings. And as many times as you ask yourself the question, you'll eventually get the answers to come to you more naturally. And that's kind of the beauty of it. You get to build yourself an entire new person if you want, if that's the life you want for yourself. And you just got to see what works for you. And in future videos, I will have more specific advice for you as I study this field and hopefully become a professional in the topic and an actual expert. I mean, I'm an expert in my own life and in my own experiences, and that's all that I can share with you guys for now. But hopefully in the next couple of years, there'll be a second master's degree for me. And I will really have that degree in sports nutrition and specialize in people who have limitations such as bariatric surgery. And I really hope to bring that to all you guys and to the world, because it is something that we have a gap in, and I plan to fill that gap. But anyway, I hope you liked that rambling, and have a great day, guys. Love you all.